for presidential election concludes, sealing the fate of Rupee Murmu and Yashwant Sinha to become India's next president. Earlier, polling began at 10 a.m. at the Parliament House and the state legislative assemblies, with MPs and MLAs casting their votes to elect the 15th president of India. Chief Minister Rupee urges negotiators of Naga political issue to refer to the competencies agreed in framework agreement signed between Government of India and NSCN-IM. While on NIDA agitation row, Rio says government to stand by its decision, though everyone has a right to demand. UDA co-chairman and leader of NPF legislator party wing Kuzoluzo Azuninu rules out confusion over two separate agreements to resolve the Naga political issue. Nino says agreed position and competency word in framework to be clubbed in a common draft following comprehensive study. Nagaland In-Service Doctors Association calls off their proposed steer on Monday in view of the presidential polls. Earlier, State Health and Family Welfare Minister S. Pangnu Pom appealed the association to suspend the agitation in order to have a peaceful completion of polls. First day of the monsoon session, sloganeering and disruption by opposition party members leads to adjournment of both houses for the entire day. Opposition leaders start sloganeering against the central government, saying dictatorship will not go on over price hike and GST rules. NDA candidate Jagdeep Dhankar files nomination for upcoming vice presidential elections slated for August 6. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, Union Minister Nitin Gadkari, BJP National President JP Naga among top brass of leaders who accompany Dhankar during nomination filing. Hi viewers, this is Asan. Welcome to Nltv Primetime News. Let's begin with details. As India is set to elect its new president, voting for the 16th presidential election concluded at 5 p.m. on Monday, in which NDA candidate Rupee Murmu was pitted against joint opposition candidate Yashwant Sinha. Earlier, polling began at 10 a.m. at the Parliament House and the state legislative assemblies, with MPs and MLAs casting their votes to elect the 15th president of India. In Nagaland also, 59 elected representatives to the 60-member state legislative assembly exercised their franchise to elect the next president. Chief Minister Rupee, UDA Chairman T.R. Ziliang, Co-Chairman Kuzoluzo Azuninu, PHED Minister Jacob Jimomi were among the lawmakers who were the first to cast their votes in the State Assembly complex. However, YM Yolo Konyak abstained from voting due to health issues. The oldest sitting MLA, Kijong Chang, at the age of 88 years, also exercised his rights. On the other hand, in New Delhi, Prime Minister Narendra Modi was among the first to cast his vote in Parliament. Union Home Minister Amit Shah, Congress President Sonia Gandhi, and her MP son Rahul, and several other top political leaders besides chief ministers from across the country and other MPs and MLAs cast their votes. In all, around 4,800 MPs and MLAs cast their votes to elect the 15th president of India. The counting of votes will take place on July 21, while the next presiding will take oath on July 25. It is worth mentioning that the president is elected by members of the Electoral College, consisting of elected members of Parliament and that of all the state assemblies, including National Capital Territory of Delhi and the Union Territory of Puducherry. nominated members of parliament as well as state assemblies and members of legislative council are not eligible to vote. A total of 776 members of parliament and 4,033 MLAs will vote in the presidential elections. Chief Minister Nltv on Monday requested the negotiating parties of the Naga political issue to refer to the competencies agreed in Framework Agreement signed between Government of India and NSCNIM on 3rd August 2015. While addressing the media after exercising his franchise for the 16th presidential election at Nagaland Legislative Assembly, Rio said that the competency words are inserted in the Framework Agreement and Nagaland government is unaware of it as it is not a party to the peace talks. Rio also went on to say that, referring to the third resolution taken during its meeting held on July 16 in Kohima, Parliamentary Committee has urged upon Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah to call NSCNIM leaders for talks and find a solution to the impending issue. In regards to Nagaland In-Service Doctors Association agitation over the superannuation age row, Rio commented that everyone has a right to demand, but the government will stand by the decision which have been made before. It may be noted that the Nagaland State Cabinet meeting on April 21 decided to increase the superannuation age of government doctors. With some riders, the Cabinet decision meant that the extension of service to 62 years will be given under one condition, that they will be re-employed in the clinical sector until 62 years.
Agreed in Framework Agreement on 3rd August 2015. So it is signed by them, and it is that comprehensive word is inserted in the Framework Agreement. So that secret, we don't know, it is with them. That's why we requested Honorable Prime Minister and Home Minister to call and discuss, sort it out. Agreed.
United Democratic Alliance co-chairman and leader of the Legislator Party wing of Naga People's Front, Kuzoluzo Azonino, on Monday said that there should not be any confusion over two separate agreements in terms finding an amicable solution to the Naga political issue. Referring to the framework agreement and agreed position, Ninu, on the sidelines of presidential polls at Nagaland Legislative Assembly on Monday, spoke to media persons where he said that there cannot be two agreements. He further stated that the agreed position signed with Naga national political groups in 2017 and competency clause under the framework agreement signed with NSCNIM in 2015 will be clubbed together. He added that a comprehensive study of both issues will be done and a command draft will be made, which will be available in public domain as well as for acceptance of command meant to come to a final conclusion. Reiterating the resolution taken by the Parliamentary Committee on the Naga political issue during their meeting on July 16, Ninu urged the centre to invite NSCNIM for talks.
No, it cannot be two different agreements. I have always stated, you see, the agreed position and the competency clauses will be clubbed up together. Will be clubbed up together. They will do a comprehensive study on both the issues, and then they will bring out a common draft. And once that common draft is brought out, then it will be given to public domain for public's acceptance. Then only the final agreement. The 7 BG, they are already ready there in Delhi. But now, as per our resolution, Government of India has to take it seriously and invite the IM now. No, it cannot be two different agreements.
Core Committee of Nagaland In-Service Doctors Association has decided to call off their proposed steer on Monday. The decision comes after Health and Family Welfare as Pangnu Pom appealed the association to suspend the agitation in light of 15th presidential election that is being held on Monday. Issuing a circular, NIDA Core Committee informed about the suspension of the agitation. NIDA also took the decision as 3 districts units of Tuensang, Noklak and Shamator have withdrawn themselves from the proposed steer. Further, the association has called a meeting on Monday to discuss future course of action. Notably, over the agitation of NIDA that was scheduled to begin on Monday, Chief Minister Nipirio also said that everyone has a right to demand, but government will stand by their decision. The Angami Students' Union and Nagaland Medicine Dealers Association have extended their support to 3 days superannuation agitation of the Nagaland In-Service Doctors Association. Angami Students' Union have showed their support to NIDA for rejecting government's decision for re-employment of retired doctors for 2 years. The union also urged upon the government to concede to the genuine demand of Nagaland In-Service Doctors Association. The union questioned as to why government is still adamant on requestioning the required medical doctors post and failing to conduct examination, which is depriving the educated unemployed medical doctors. Moreover, acute shortage of medical doctors in government health institution has been adversely affecting Nagaland healthcare system. The union also expressed its concern over the development of 2 proposed medical colleges, both in infrastructural and outsourcing human resources, and urged upon the government to bring the dreamed medical colleges into reality as assured in the recently concluded State Assembly. Nagaland Department of Health and Family Welfare has issued an advisory on monkeypox in the interest of public health. It said that monkeypox is a viral disease which is transmitted from animals to human. The virus is transmitted by contact with an infected animal's body secretions or a bite. It is also transmitted from human to human through contact with bodily fluids, sexual contact, or lesion material. It can be easily transmitted from contaminated clothing of or linens of affected persons and large respiratory droplets as a result of prolonged close contact. Notably, the common symptoms of monkeypox include fever, skin rashes, lymph node enlargement, headache, muscle ache or exhaustion, sore throat and cough. Meanwhile, monkeypox can cause complications that include pain in the eyes or blurry vision, shortness of breath or difficulty in breathing, chest pain, altered consciousness and seizures, as well as decrease in urine outputs. The department has issued some guidelines to follow if someone has monkeypox, and that is to isolate infected individual. Patients should be managed in isolation, minimize infected individuals' exposure to surrounding areas by covering their nose and mouth with a sheet or gown, to inform immediate health facility, to avoid contact with contaminated materials such as bedding, clothes or towels used by the infected individual, and maintain hand hygiene using soap and water or alcohol-based sanitizers. Dear viewers, as we are all aware of the 10 rupee coin which is not used and accepted in Nagaland, Nagaland TV did a special report on 10 rupee coin issue in Nagaland on Monday. Taking this matter up, Nagaland TV spoke with few of the shopkeepers and customers to know the actual reasons behind not accepting the coin. After Reserve Bank of India issued the 10 rupee coin in 2005, there were rumors in Nagaland that the print in the coin is improper and that the bank has stopped accepting the coin, which in turn resulted in not accepting or using the coin by customers and people from the business sectors. Although it is to be noted that the coin is accepted in other states of India except Nagaland. Hence, to spread mass awareness about the truth about the 10th rupee coin, Nagaland TV visited Dimapur SBI regional office at supermarket and had a word with Assistant General Manager and SLBC convener Haukolen Hang Singh. While discussing on the issue, Han Singh informed that the 10 rupee coin is under the legal tender of RBI and Government of India. He continued by stating that the people should start accepting the coin as there is nothing to worry about, and also urged people not to neglect the coin.
Actually, it coin to the main problem we feel rather misconception is because bank as a bank won't be from RBI issue 5 rupee coin hobi 10 rupees coin hobi etu do ahi thake issue aro mon to phelabo na pare kilone is being issued by RBI holebi market te sa do dikhya do aro experience to even shopkeepers dukandaran bi tan lo mon nai aro public an bi maybe lack of awareness na jana karni bi hobo tahan itu 10 rupee especially 10 rupee coin to nakli ase na bhabina tan bi lo mon nai etone aji saise bole to Nagaland state te coin san to market te circulate basic komte ase etone aji Nltv thank you for eto clarification karne mo last statement bi lo to thanks to you moi common ja to this is a legal tender eto RBI pa issue kurala ase coins to etone fake na hoy eto cholo pare aro shopkeeper san ke bi request tan bi eto do promote kurbo lage aro saman change na thakadam debi coin san to cholele do circulation increase hobo inia one last stock debi thaka bisi coin san to 5 rupees hobi 1 rupee hobi 2 rupees hobi 10 rupees hobi mon bi stock sufficient ase Nagaland te mon bi spread ko pare Nagaland te mohan ki kure dukan jaina saman kinisi gole to 1 taka 2 taka bi eni chhar de hole bi tu no bole kilo mane coins to long lasting ase value to kilo mane notes bugisu gole notes to hat bisi change hole tare bra bi letra noile tare par bimar samar bi ulo pare hole bi coins cholaisu gole to benefit ki ase bole coins to lasting ase to kiman sal hole bi ene bia hare se gole to alag kotha noile to coins to lasting ase to coins si sob manu cholabole eto encourage kribo ban as a banker la message to sob manu chinta na kribi to legal tender agi to conditional legal tender ase eto mane public manu mon bi cholabo lage cholagina aro benefit to ki
Twensang Battalion Assam Rifles conducted a free medical camp at Chinloisho village in Mon district on Sunday under the aegis of Headquarters 7th Sector Assam Rifles. At the onset of torrential rains coupled with harvest season saw a sudden spurt in viral fever and monsoon sickness in Chinloisho village, after which the troops and medical staff of Twensang Battalion swung into action to organize medical camp. Meanwhile, a total of 225 villagers were benefited, which included 64 male, 89 female and 72 children were treated and given free medicines. Furthermore, the team also donated essential commodities and provided financial assistance to the village church. Later, the villagers appreciated the gesture of Assam Rifles and conveyed their heartfelt gratitude. The Monkeypox Battalion Assam Rifles organized a medical camp on Monday at New Chungdia and for the surrounding villages under Monkeypox district. The motive of the camp was to provide free medical check-ups to senior citizens ailing with various diseases and preliminary diagnoses. The camp was mainly aimed for the children living at remote areas, preventing them to avail proper medical attention. A total of 110 locals, including elders, ladies and children, were treated during the medical camp. The Mokokchung Battalion also carried out the promotion for Agnipath scheme and on-spot registration process was done. The village authorities and the public thanked the Assam Rifles for their kind gesture. The Mokokchung Battalion of Assam Rifles organized pre-recruitment drive under Join Indian Army Agnipath campaign at Aboy Public Ground in Mon District on Monday. The event was organized with an aim to generate awareness of the Agnipath scheme and encourage youth to join Indian Army as Agnivars for brighter and secure future by serving the country. More than 105 potential candidates were screened during the event, including 95 boys and 10 girls candidates. During the campaign, pamphlets giving out the detail of the Agnipath scheme were distributed and an online registration desk document check facility was provided to the youth, followed by refreshment. The campaign was also attended by Aboy KU President Shakang Konyak, ATSU President Lipsing Konyak, AASU President Shengwang Konyak, head Gaunbura of Aboy, other prominent personalities and locals of Aboy town to boost morale of the youths from Aboy region. Notably, the village prominence and village elders appreciated the efforts of the Mokokchung Battalion and expressed gratitude for organizing a meaningful event for noble cause.
Indian Army ki jai! Indian Army ki jai!
In continuation to commemoration of Azadi Ki Amrit Mahotsav, Shamator Battalion Assam Rifles initiated an awareness lecture on the national flag. The initiative was taken up to educate the students on the national flag based on the theme Har Ghar Tiranga. The program was held at Government High School, Shamator Town, on Monday, where the students were enlightened about the history of national flag, their importance and the occasion as to when the national flag to be furled. A total of 120 students, Shamator participated in lecture, followed by a questions and answers session where the Assam Rifles cleared all the doubt. The students and the teachers further appreciated the efforts of the Assam Rifles.
Indicating the green is the fertility and growth. The meaning of the white color and what's the meaning of the green color. Easily one words only.
The Kohima District Football Association is set to conduct a selection trial on the 27th of July 2022 for the upcoming Nagaland Olympic and Paralympic 2022, which is scheduled to be held from 22nd to 27th August this year. The trials are to be held at Indira Gandhi Stadium on 27th July from 3 p.m. till 6 p.m. It has been informed that only the participants registered with KDF will be eligible to participate in the trial. It has also been mentioned that association began its first phase of player registration in the month of June and the registrations will be closed on the 30th of July. Indigenous inhabitants of Nagaland are eligible to register with the association, and players wishing to register with the association can get their forms at Start Sports at BOC, 2K Hotel at PR Hill, Global Sport at Dr. KK Angami Complex Midland, Sports Paradise at Rulo Market, Old Data Parking, Floral Bakery at Aga Complex and High School. The Dimapur Excise Narcotic Cell Enforcement Duty arrested one individual on Friday on charges of possessing Indian-made foreign liquor and beer. According to Deputy Commissioner of Excise, Katohosmi, the duty party seized 1,710 bottles of assorted IMFL and beer around 6:40 a.m. in the morning. The duty party was led by Ai Chuba Yim and the accused has been identified as Manoj. Katohosmi notified that the seized items have been deposited in the office Malkana and the case is presently under investigation as pre-relevant provisions of the Nltv Act 1989. In the current situation, the northeast region of the country has lost around 4,350 square kilometers of primary forest area in the last 2 decades, which is nearly 3 times the size of Delhi, having an area of 1,487 square kilometers. According to the data, Arunachal has recorded highest degradation in forest cover, that is 1,250 square kilometers, followed by Tripura 1,100 square kilometers and Assam 630 square kilometers. Meanwhile, Global Forest Watch is an open source application to monitor forests across the globe, and it was started by a US-based non-profit organization called World Resource Institute. Opposition presidential candidate Yashwant Sinha on Monday urged all the MPs and MLAs to vote for him to save the democracy, adding that he is not just fighting a political fight but a fight against government agencies too. Targeting the centre, he also urged that they have become too powerful, that they are breaking up parties, forcing people to vote for them, and said that there is also a game of money involved. National Democratic Alliance's presidential candidate Draupadi Murmu and joint opposition nominee Yashwant Sinha are the 2 contesting candidates for election to the office of the president.
से उनके माध्यम से मैंने पूरे देश में ये संदेश देने का प्रयास किया है कि ये राष्ट्रपति का चुनाव क्यों इतना महत्वपूर्ण है। अब आज वोटिंग हो रही है। मैं सारे मतदाताओं से अपील करना चाहता हूं कि वो अपनी अंतरात्मा की आवाज़ सुने। ये वोट, जैसा आप जानते हैं, इसमें पार्टी का व्हिप नहीं जारी होता है और इसमें
On the first day of the monsoon session, Rajya Sabha proceedings were adjourned following sloganeering and disruption by opposition party members, leading to the adjournment of the House for the entire day. A joint opposition including Congress, Aam Aadmi Party and Shiv Sena created ruckus at the pandemonium in the House after oath affirmation and obituary references. The opposition members raised issues on price rise and GST while interrupting the ongoing speech of the Rajya Sabha Chairman Venkaiah Naidu. The opposition leaders started sloganeering against the central government, saying "Tanasahi nahi chalengi," meaning dictatorship will not go on. Amid the prolonged noise, Naidu continued the proceedings for a few minutes but later adjourned the House for the day. On the other hand, the lower house of the Parliament, Lok Sabha, was also adjourned till Tuesday. This was done so that the members could vote in the presidential polls. As the House met for the first time in the monsoon session of Parliament, 3 MPs took oath as members of the Lok Sabha. On the first day of monsoon session of Parliament, 28 newly elected MPs took oath in the Rajya Sabha on Monday. The oath takers included cricketer turned politician Harbhajan Singh, daughter of former Bihar Chief Minister Lalu Prasad Yadav, Misa Bhatti, and BCCI Vice President Rajiv Shukla, while other oath takers were A. Rao Meena, Vijay Sai Reddy, Kiru Mahato, Shambhala Sarna Patel, Ranjit Ranjan, Maharashtra Maji, Aditya Prasad Praful Patel, Imran Pratap Ghari, Sanjay Roth, Sasmit Pratra, Sandeep Kumar Patak, and Vikramjit Singh Sahani. Furthermore, Randeep Singh Surjewal, P. Chitambar, Kapil Sibal, R. Gil Rajan, S. Kalyan Sundaram, K.R.N. Rajesh Kumar, Jadav Ali Khan, V. Vijendra Prasad were other amongst who took the oath. Meanwhile, renowned former athlete P.T. Usha and legendary music composer Ilaya Raja skipped the oath taking due to unknown reasons. Amid the ensuing elections for choosing the next vice president of the country, the NDA-backed Jagdeep Dhankar filed his nomination for the post of vice president. In addition, the nomination was filed in the presence of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Furthermore, other dignitaries who were the witness to this event were Home Minister Amit Shah, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, Union Minister Nitin Gadkari, BJP National President JP Nadda, and other BJP leaders. Meanwhile, Margaret Alva has been named by opposition as its candidate for the post of vice president, but is yet to file her nomination. Notably, the vice presidential elections is scheduled on August 6. Chief Sena MP Sanjay Raut on Sunday said that the party will support the opposition's vice presidential candidate Margaret Alva, and for the presidential pool, Sena will lend support to Draupadi Murmu out of sentiment as Murmu is a tribal woman and Maharashtra is largely tribal. MP Raut also said that many of our MPs and MLAs are tribals. Furthermore, for the post of vice president, Alva and Dhankar will face each other. The Reserve Bank of India has recommended to the government that it should frame regulations for cryptocurrencies and prohibit them. During the opening day of Parliament's monsoon session, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said to the House that the government seems to be of the view that a global collaboration is needed for any effective regulation or ban. However, Sitharaman went on and added that given the borderless nature of cryptocurrencies, international collaboration was required to prevent any kind of regulatory arbitrage. Furthermore, the RBI has continued to work on its own digital currencies and hope to introduce this year. According to RBI Deputy Governor T. Ravi Shankar, the central bank digital currencies could kill the reasons for the existence of private cryptocurrencies. In an alarming case, India has reported its second confirmed monkeypox case. Furthermore, the patient is a 31-year-old man from Kannur in Kerala and had returned from Dubai on July 13. Notably, the case was confirmed on Monday by Union Health Ministry. Earlier, the Health Ministry has informed that the government is monitoring the matter closely and is working in close coordination with other states in case of any possibility of outbreak. It is to be mentioned that monkeypox patients show similar symptoms as it was earlier seen in case of smallpox. The Delhi High Court dismissed the petition seeking direction to restrain the public representatives who are convicted or having cases pending or in custody from voting in the presidential polls on Monday. Notably, the petition was filed by one Sadhvir Singh. The Delhi High Court on Monday dismissed the public interest litigation that has sought direction to the centre and concerned authorities to stop the operation of SpiceJet Airlines, stating incidents of technical glitches in aircrafts during flight. While rejecting the public interest litigation, the court went on to ask if the court should start running an airline. Notably, the plea was filed by Rahul Bharadwaj, who is a practicing advocate, and his 4-year-old son. Expressing disappointment at Centre for delay in granting permission for his Singapore visit, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal asserted that the move behind delay is political reason. Kejriwal further asserted that he is not a criminal but an elected Chief Minister of an Indian state. He stated that representing Delhi model in front of world leaders in World City Summit would be an honor for India. Chief Minister Kejriwal went on to comment that he had no idea why he is not granted permission yet and that denying permission is against interest of the nation. He also asserted that internal differences within the country should not reflect on a world stage. Earlier on Sunday, Kejriwal wrote to Prime Minister Modi to grant him permission to attend World Cities Summit scheduled to be held on August 1 in Singapore.
देखिए, मैं कोई अपराधी तो हूँ नहीं और एक चुना हुआ मुख्यमंत्री हूँ, इस देश का स्वतंत्र आज़ाद नागरिक हूँ। सो मुझे वहाँ जाने से क्यों रोका जा रहा है, मेरी समझ के बाहर है। और मैं समझता हूँ कि वहाँ पे दुनिया भर के बहुत बड़े बड़े नेता आ रहे हैं सिंगापुर में, और सिंगापुर की सरकार ने स्पेशली मुझे बुलाया है। दिल्ली में शिक्षा और स्वास्थ्य के ऊपर जो क्रांति हुई है और दिल्ली में अलग अलग क्षेत्रों में जो तरक्की हुई है, दिल्ली मॉडल के बारे में वहाँ पे प्रस्तुत करने के लिए, तो पूरी दुनिया के लीडर्स जो हैं वो दिल्ली मॉडल के बारे में सुनेंगे। और तो ये इससे देश का गौरव बढ़ेगा, इससे देश का नाम होगा। दिल्ली मॉडल की चर्चा आप लोग जानते हैं पूरी दुनिया में हो रही है। जब ट्रंप साहब आए थे, उनकी वाइफ मिलेनिया ट्रंप ने भी दिल्ली के स्कूलों के बारे में सुना था, वो दिल्ली के स्कूल देखने गई। उसके बाद उन्होंने दिल्ली की शिक्षा क्रांति के बारे में काफ़ी तारीफ़ की। वहाँ उसके पहले नॉर्वे की पूर्व प्रधानमंत्री दिल्ली के मोहल्ला क्लिनिक देखने के लिए आई। यूनाइटेड नेशंस के पूर्व महासचिव बान की मून साहब।
Customers are now set to pay more on certain products and services as new goods and services tax rates is set to come into effect from today. The GST Council, chaired by Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, had earlier on last month imposed tax on a host of goods and services. Notably, 5% GST on pre-packed labelled food items and on hospital rooms with rent above 5,000 is set to be raised. Maps and charts including atlases will attract 12% GST, while 18% GST will be levied on Tetra Packs and on fees charged by banks for the issues of checks. Solar water heater will now attract 12% GST, and work contracts for roads, bridges, railways, metros, effluent treatment plants and crematoriums will see tax going up to 18%. Meanwhile, taxes will be cut on ostomy appliances and on transport of goods and passengers by ropeways to 5%. Renting of trucks, goods carriages where the cost of fuel is included with will attract 12% lower rate. GST exemption on the transport of passengers by air to and from northeastern states and Bagdogra will be restricted to economy class only. In addition, electric vehicles, whether or not fitted by a battery pack, is also set to be eligible for the concessional GST rate of 5% from July 18. Under the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, the tricolour is said to be hoisted atop more than 20 crore houses across the country from August 13 to 15. Notably, flag will be hoisted under the central government's Har Ghar Triyanga campaign. All government and private establishments will also be involved. Meanwhile, Union Home Minister Amit Shah reviewed the preparations of the campaign with Chief Ministers of States, Lieutenant Governors and Administrators of Union Territories on Sunday. It may be mentioned that over 100 crore people are set to participate in the campaign to rededicate themselves to the service of Mother India. Amidst the uproar demanding justice for a schoolgirl who had committed suicide following assault inflicted by teachers in a private school in Kallakurichi district of Tamil Nadu, the security around the school in which the girl was admitted has been tightened. This comes after angry protesters had torched the school buildings and school buses on Friday, fire on Sunday. Meanwhile, the school correspondent Ravi Kumar, Secretary Shanti and Principal Shiva Sankaran have been arrested over the death of the student and also for failure to maintain safety at the school hostel. Thirteen people died after a Maharashtra government bus plunged into river Narmada in Madhya Pradesh on Monday. The bus carrying 55 passengers was heading to Pune from Indore when it skidded off a slippery road and fell into the river after breaking the railing of a bridge on the Agra-Mumbai highway of Madhya Pradesh's Dar district. Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan in a series of tweets said that the district administration team was present at the accident site and the bus had been removed. While expressing grief over the loss of lives in the accident, MP Chief Minister also instructed to make arrangements for proper treatment of the injured. The bus belonging to the Maharashtra State Road Transport Corporation has been retrieved amid heavy rainfall in the area. Meanwhile, Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde has instructed MSRTC to provide ex gratia of 10 lakhs each to the kin of the deceased in the bus accident. Notably, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has also expressed condolences after the accident. Video of two Uttarakhand policemen saving a drowning man in Haridwar has gone viral on social media. The incident took place near Rawatpur Bhawan at Kangra Ghat. The policemen have been identified as Head Constable Atul Singh and Sunny Kumar. As seen in the video, one of the policemen dived into the water to save a man being carried away by strong current. Later, two more people dived into the water to back up the policemen. After Uttarakhand police shared video on Twitter, it has garnered more than 70,000 views. Internet users have hailed the heroic act of the policemen. Well, in a shocking announcement, the star English cricketer Ben Stokes announced his retirement from ODI cricket on Monday. In addition, he also informed in his official statement that he will be playing his last match against South Africa in Durham on Tuesday. While calling the decision tough, the all-rounder, who was recently appointed as Sri Lions Test keeper after Joy Root stepped down from his duties, stated that he felt like it was time for him to let it go and let someone else progress as a cricketer. Furthermore, he promised his fans to give his all to Test cricket. Meanwhile, he also wished luck to his fellow players and also stated that he will support staff workers. Notably, cricketer Ben Stokes played his debut match in ODI in the year 2011. Until then, he has scored 2,919 runs, including 3 centuries, and taken 74 wickets. Emphasizing on national security and new age warfare, Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Monday said national defense is no longer confined to borders but has expanded towards space, cyberspace, and economic and social sphere. Speaking at the Naval Innovation and Indigenization Organization seminar, Swalamban at Dr. Ambedkar International Center, Modi said that national defense is no longer limited to borders, but is much broader. Therefore, it is equally necessary to make every citizen aware of it. Now, the threats to national security have also become widespread. The methods of warfare are also challenging. Modi said that earlier we used to imagine our defense only till land, sea and sky. Now the area is moving towards space, cyberspace and economic and social space. He further emphasized that as India is establishing itself on the global stage, there are constant attacks through misinformation, disinformation and false campaign. Therefore, the nation have to thwart every effort of the forces that harm India's interest, whether in the country or abroad.
कि अब राष्ट्रीय सुरक्षा के लिए खतरे भी व्यापक हो गए हैं और युद्ध के तौर तरीके भी बदल रहे हैं। पहले हम सिर्फ लैंड, सी और स्काई तक ही अपने डिफेंस की कल्पना करते थे। अब ये दायरा स्पेस यानी अंतरिक्ष की तरफ बढ़ रहा है, साइबर स्पेस की तरफ बढ़ रहा है, आर्थिक और सामाजिक स्पेस की तरफ बढ़ रहा है। आज हर प्रकार की व्यवस्था को वेपन में कन्वर्ट किया जा रहा है। अब सामने सामने की लड़ाई से अधिक लड़ाई अदृश्य हो रही है, अधिक घातक हो रही है। अब हम अपनी रक्षा की नीति और रणनीति सिर्फ अपने अतीत को ध्यान में रखते हुए नहीं बना सकते। अब हमें फ्यूचर चैलेंजेस को एंटीसिपेट करते हुए ही आगे कदम बढ़ाने हैं। हमारे आसपास क्या हो रहा है, क्या बदलाव आ रहे हैं, भविष्य के हमारे मोर्चे क्या होने वाले हैं, उनके अनुसार हमें खुद को बदलना है। और इसमें स्वावलंबन का आपका लक्ष्य भी देश की बहुत बड़ी मदद करने वाला है। साथियों, देश की रक्षा के लिए हमें एक और अहम पक्ष पर ध्यान देना चाहिए। हमें भारत के आत्मविश्वास को, हमारी आत्मनिर्भरता को चुनौती देने वाली ताकतों के विरुद्ध भी युद्ध तेज करना है। जैसे जैसे भारत ग्लोबल स्टेज पर पद को स्थापित कर रहा है, खुद को स्थापित कर रहा है, वैसे वैसे मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन, डिसइन्फॉर्मेशन, अपप्रचार के माध्यम से लगातार हमले हो रहे हैं। इन्फॉर्मेशन को भी हथियार।
Dear viewers, with that, English Primetime News winds up here.
अरे तूने अभी तक कुछ किया ही नहीं।
अरे ये तो लो क्वालिटी टंकी है।
होशियारी मत दिखाओ, दुकानदार ने 5 साल की गारंटी दी है।
अरे 5